What happens to a non-conference schedule? You could spend the whole time playing teams within your you can get a whole schedule out of just teams in your conference. Is it the type of thing where maybe you play one kind of tune-up game against your, not Colorado States, but you know what I mean? You play one game against the team that Slippery Rock State University, and then you're into your schedule, whatever it is, from you're crossing over for a few games, and then from league, from east to west, and then you're into the meat of your conference.
I don't know how you would do it. I mean, I'm of two minds on this. I think on one, Jim Delaney said it best. He said, we want to play each other more, not less. I mean, that's the point of being in a conference.
Right.
When they went to 20 basketball games. We want to play each other more.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say is the incentives in basketball are to play each other more.
Right.
The selection committee rewards you for playing a difficult schedule. They don't look as much at your record as they do at who you played.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, in football, it's not been that way, Randy. Like, you're eliminated from the playoff race when you lose a second game.
I know.
And I won't believe that until somebody proves to me that we're going to put a two-loss team in. I do not think there's any incentive to schedule difficult games in the non-conference. No one is rewarding you for that. And so I think then the challenge becomes, are we cutting off our nose to spite our face?
Right.
Are we playing one another more and then hurting our chances of getting into the playoffs? So, or if you're further down in the league and you're a program that's looking to count to 6 and make it to a bowl game, right? All of a sudden, are you saying, well, now if we got to play 10 conference games,
how are we going to get those
6 wins and make a bowl?
We need 3 in non-conference or 2 in non-conference, and then a couple things to go our way in the conference, just to make that bowl game, which is important for us. So I'm with you. I don't know how it gets settled if it does expand that level. But what you're talking about and what you opened the door on the conversation, and maybe this is the last thing we'll talk about here, is the need for, I think, the college football playoff to expand, and immediately. Like, I would love to see 12 teams in there, because then you would see some of those great 2-loss teams get in, and you shouldn't be left out. Yes, then people will be saying, but what about the 13th team and the 14th team? Just like they say, what about these teams that got snubbed in the NCAA when we're picking 68? But I think they're saying it a little bit less when it expanded even to 68. So, I really believe it has to expand now. I want to wonder your thoughts on that.
I'm with you. I think particularly as we kind of consolidate power in the SEC and the Big Ten, I think it's probably more important than ever that it expands, because I do think, like, part of the genius of the NCAA tournament is that everyone goes into the season thinking they have a chance.
Right.
And so I do think that you need to make sure that college football is a regional sport that plays for a national championship.
That's right.
I mean, it's
That's right.
And it always has been. And so I think all regions of the country, like, what has been frustrating to a lot of people recently has been that it seems like all the power's consolidated in the Southeast.
Alabama and Georgia, they're going to be there this year.
Right?
Yeah, Clemson,
so
exactly.
People lose interest. And so I think the more teams you put in, the more interest that you're going to have. And I think it used to be of this mindset, but again, I just feel like if we're going to play some sort of a national playoff, you have to have it in such a way that every region of the country feels represented. And it may end up being there 4 from the SEC and 4 from the Big Ten, but then who fills out the rest of that field?
I would love to see it.
A way to have it from others.
It's Cincinnati, it's Oregon, it's USC, it's I mean, whoever it is. I know the USC is now in the Big Ten, but I mean, it's other teams, or maybe it's Boise State is the 12th team. You know what I mean? One of some of those great teams. So you say to yourself, we made the playoff. That's the recruiting pitch. You go out to recruit, and you might be able to pull a kid from Texas to come come up north, as opposed to, well, forget it. He's going to A&M because this is what we didn't even get into NIL. Dave Revsine, there's so much to talk about with you.